One of the biggest things which I find is the most important in the recession. And that is that we have to learn to live with 2 years ago's prices. We mustn't go up with products. We must stay with rents the same. It's trying to stay the same, at least not to go back, then there won't be such a big recession. But if we stay the same for the next 2 years, we can survive. People can survive on the wages they received last year and paying the rent they paid last year. This is something which Israelis haven't learned. The Israelis think, well, if prices are going, if you're earning less, the prices go up. Rents go up. So if your rents go up, people can't make money, we're collecting money, and people can't afford to give. There's a problem of staying and living in Israel, and people start coming back. When EasyJet came in, they said, oh, there will be very cheap prices to Israel. You'll be able to travel for £100 to Israel. Cyprus is just over £100. So Israel, which is not much further in flying time, should be roughly the same. Why should Israel cost £300? I don't understand it. What do they think? People, it's really unfair. The same way when I was in yeshiva, it cost to phone home a pound a minute. Today it costs a penny a minute. If they want people to stay in Israel and live there, they have to make sure that prices are cheaper, that people can communicate with their parents. Like I can communicate with my children because the price of phoning is cheap. If I can't see my children a few times a year or at least once a year for cheap, and people start deciding, I don't want my children to live so far away, like it was years ago. I mean, if my children live in Israel, I want to be able to access Israel on the cheap. And it is able to. EasyJet flies to Cyprus for under £100. Why should it fly to Israel for just over £100? Why should it charge such a lot of money? Why should the carrier charge such a lot of money? And but there's another point, that if it was cheaper, much more people would travel to Israel. This rich man in Golden Dream, by cutting back, has made those Israelis who come to collect here realize that there is a recession, that we have to cut back. You can't go up in prices of flats and food and things like that. Products can't cost more. We have to cut back. Everybody will just earn what they earned last year, and they won't have to spend more because prices will not go up. We will be able to overcome the recession. This is what is very important. It makes logical sense. And I don't understand why the Israeli government can't understand that and see it, that there's so many people leaving Israel, so many people coming back and saying, I can't live there. They don't let you live. There is another point. For instance, I was supposed to go now to Israel because today or this week was my son's bar mitzvah. My grandson's rather bar mitzvah. My son made a bar mitzvah. The prices to travel now in the middle of the year is £300 nearly. I mean, are they mad? £300 for what? For 5 days? First of all, he says to me, yes, just come for 5 days and go back. Okay, 5 days traveling. Do you know that to travel to Israel is a hassle between 11 and 12 hours? You have to be 2.5 hours maximum at the airport, 5 hours flying time, 1.5 hours you have to leave home. When you get to Israel, the hassle of taking a taxi and going to Yerushalayim or Bnei Brak, wherever you want to go, is fantastic. That hassle in that station, in that airport, makes you sick. You come there exhausted, and just to be there for 5 days and have the hassle coming back again, you decide, no, I'm not traveling. I don't want to get killed for that. I don't want to kill myself all this way. The security hassle, okay, it needs to be done, but it was cheap. No, somebody would decide different already. It wasn't so expensive, but it's expensive as well. What do they think they are? Where is their brains? Where is the consideration? Where is the Jewish business brain who is running the system there? Think instead of the Rabbunim concentrating so much on raising tzedakah, they should concentrate on getting the prices reduced, making sure that traveling is reduced, making sure that traveling from Yerushalayim to Bnei Brak is reduced, to Haifa, to other towns, to Kiryat Sofer, all these places reduced, that things are reduced, and people will not be allowed. There should come out a ban on allowing people to go higher with the prices. By the way, I want to just mention one more hypocritical thing, which I find from the Rabbunim so strongly, not only with the prices going up, and which they don't have in consideration. They talk about tzedakah, but you have to earn this money to tzedakah. There is a recession here in England. Don't these Israelis understand it? Why don't they practice the recession in Israel as well? The Hamodia last week published a big notice saying, Rabbunim, they don't allow internet. Do you know, I looked up the Amodia. It was not just an email, it was a www, 35, between 30 and 35 adverts which had the internet address on it. I mean, what the heck about a critical thing to do? You advertise in your paper, you write about the Rabbonim who ban internet, and then you yourself advertise between 30 and 35 adverts which have internet on it. I mean, it's just hypocritical. It's a laughingstock. They make themselves a laughingstock of the world. And I think the same way as 10 years ago, nobody had videos in Bechasnas, nobody would dare have a video by Bechasnas. And still, when I made a bar mitzvah by son, which was about 13 years ago, and still I've got videos of my cousins going like this, because I was making videos. Today, the same cousin, he makes a wedding, he has a video there. So I think that it's only a matter of time when the internet will automatically be accepted and the Rabbunim will find something else to shout about. But it's not good, the Rabbunim, that they come along and shout what some Askonim come in to them and tell them to shout about. They have to shout about real matters by the Jewish people which go wrong and which are needed to be misaken, such as prices from the shops, prices from flats, going up with prices from flats, making these where they haven't got the money, make them leave the country, stop learning and coming back to England to live, or in America, wherever they go to, or going back home, because they cannot survive in this kind of thing. And it'll just cause a recession in the whole housing crisis in Israel.